Alright, we're gonna make it so that your scoring of the quiz, after it calculates the results, that it actually displays them. The way we have it set up right now is that you only see the questions, and then once you get through it, it's supposed to do something. We'll make it respond when it's done eventually. But right now, in your style.css file, you have the questionnaire is displayed, but the results are not. I'm going to display them both. That way you can kind of see the results. So yeah, let's make all these things kind of get filled out. So I'm going to go to, I guess, the SortingHat.js file, and that put the on-click on all the buttons, and if you clicked it, it would set the response to that button's value. Go to the next question. It logs the quiz when it's done, which isn't going to be very useful because we have to score the quiz before you actually want to look at it. So maybe we don't really have to score it until the very end, but I did have it on when you press strongly agree, because that was the only one I was pressing. We could go on more of them, I guess. That way it always scores it. You'll have to score it anyway before you want to log it and see what it looks like. So then it should always, no matter what I hit after I do this, it should score it before it logs it, so that we should see what? Oh, I guess it won't log it until the very end. Oh, that's good. Wonder why it's... Where does this one come up? SortingHat 18. Alright, we log it once at the beginning. I guess I'll leave that for now, but we'll take that out eventually. So it is not logging the quiz, but it is scoring it. So we should have, if we did have it logged here, we should see differences in these results. So what we want to do is, when we need to write a function that takes the results from the quiz object and writes them, changes the size of the bars and sets the numbers. Kind of like how we set the text of this stuff every time you press it. It changes. So I guess that should probably happen. I guess, where do we write? Well, the score is a sub-function of the quiz. So I guess I'll just do it here in this SortingHat file, where we'll write the category, or all the scores. So I'm going to come down to the bottom. That's where we set the original start the question that's index 0. And we're going to write a function. I'll just say write results. And we'll be accessing the console, the quiz.responses. So if we go to quiz, or I guess results, results is that really how it works? I thought we changed that. Weird. Let me look at that again. I thought we made it a list, not an object. It is a list. It's an array. I mean, but in this definition, well, I guess it's an object here, but then we write over it and then we make it an array. So yeah, it's an array. That's good. It should have 12 things, 0 through 11. Yeah. Now, I guess what we should really look at is, I think what you copied for the results page, which we have here, and then we copied all that and put it into your index at the bottom. So eventually all this stuff was now at the bottom of your index page. There was already scripts and stuff that gets these variables. So it checks to see if the value of whatever set label is in some threshold, and it tells you if you're fanatic, extreme, moderate, whatever, depending on how far you are. That's all fine. I think maybe this is where we'll get it. So get query variable A, that must be like your score for federalism, and then A2 would be 100 minus A, so that'll be your score for unitary. And each of the 12, well, now there should be 12, because I think we added to some of these already. But that's how it works. You'll have a variable, which are these, I guess, these 12 results. And it'll just subtract those from 100. We'll have to, well, well, this is where you've got to decide, I guess. Do you want your ranges, 0 in the middle, negative 100 for federalism, and positive 100 for unitary, or do you want it to be 0 means you're federal, 50% means you're half and half, and 100 means you're, well, I guess 100 means you're fully federal, 0 means you're fully unitary. So do you want it on a 0 through 100 scale or negative 100 to 100? That's sort of up to you. We were doing it as though they were negative 100 to 100. This is assuming that there's 0 to 100. So, yay. So either we'll have to rewrite this and this, or we'll just have to convert our scores into theirs pattern. I think on this one, I'm just going to convert ours to their pattern so that I don't have to rewrite anything. But it wouldn't be that bad if you did want to change that. I don't know where all these little semicolons are supposed to be. Weird. There you go. So what else happens? Set bar value. So it sets all the bars for the 24 now categories. What is this? So set label. Set label was defined up above, I think. Yeah, here. Using the value that you have, you set the label. Weird. Right array. Oh, I get it. Well, fanatic unitary. How do they know which one to say? Here. I get this, but I don't. Oh. I don't know. Somehow they know. You just give them the original number. I guess it knows whether or not, if the number's too big or too small. Let's see if it's less than 40. See, it uses the different axis depending on how big your number is. That's how it knows. Okay. All of this, we don't really need. I mean, I don't think we have to look at that. That generates, I think most of that just generates the little picture down here. We can work on that later. Yeah, little picture, little picture. I think this one up here is the main thing, all this stuff. So I don't know, this is what we need to figure out, this get query variable. Here it is, good. So if I say get query variable, what the heck does it do? Location search substring 1. What? So yeah, vars length. Where does he define all this stuff? Vars pair. I don't really know what he's doing. Return not a number if you don't already return something. Where does he do all that? Did we do that? I think we did do that. I guess it's not that important since we're just gonna write over it. That's ours. And this is the rest of the file. I don't know. What else was there? There was styles that he had that went along with it. Was there anything else? I don't think so. I think that was all in the file. Huh. Alright, well, we will unload. Fill. Okay, I don't know. Create image, set bar value, get query variable. So this is the thing I'm gonna redo, because ours are gonna be different. So get query variable. So if you want A, that should be results 1. So I guess, well, that's kind of annoying. You know what? We'll just leave this how it was. And it's this that will change. So I'll just copy all that. I'm just going to leave the other one there just so we have it as a reference, I guess. And so here's the new one. This will be results 0 and quiz.results 0. Well, I gotta write a little function. So this will be negative, you know, I guess actually negative 1 to 1. So we're gonna have to say plus 1. So when it's negative 1, it'll be 0. When it's positive 1, it'll be 2. Divide that by 2, and then times 100. That's the same as multiplying by 50, I guess. And then math.round, maybe. All right. All this becomes the same. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this. Okay, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, stupid. 11. And then these will do the same down here. That's all good. So this normally happened on load, on page load. Well, it does the little picture on page load. I guess this should happen when you load the page too. Ah, I know. It's getting it from the. It got these values, I think, before from maybe the URL, because you'll notice when you come to the actual page, it has like all the values in the URL. So like A50, B50, you know, whatever. I bet that's where it's getting it. Maybe we want to do something like that, but we'll come back to that if we do. We want this to happen when we call a function. It's not just when the thing runs. So I'll just say function. Oh, we already did that. Where did we put that? We put that in the other one. So function write results. So now we gotta delete the other one. It's gonna be all this stuff. Okay. And then maybe we'll just say write results, because that way it just doesn't change anything. It runs. So we're running it. Before this all ran, now we've locked it inside of a definition of a function. We'll run the function so it doesn't change the way the site works. This thing needs to go away. And then all of this thing, like if you're done with the question, all of this should be changed into, instead of logging, we will, I'm just holding control. Oh, poop. Control Z. Dang it. I'll try it again. I don't know how to undo this once I make a mistake. Whatever. That's how, okay. Is that all of it? Okay, so this says if the new index number is basically past the last index number, so it's basically done with the questions. I'm going to replace this with a, oh, I didn't want that. Actually, I did. So I just hit the curly bracket, and it put in curlies for me. I'm going to press enter, and I have a new line. I'm going to press, you need the curlies if you have a multi-line thing that happens with the if. If the if statement fires just one line, if you match this condition, you don't need the curlies. You can just put it right after. But if you have a multi-line block of code that fires if the condition is met, then you need the curlies. So new line, I'm hitting right, new line, actually we're on another new line, and so we score the quiz, we log the quiz, and now we're going to write the results. Save that, and I guess I'll try it. Hopefully it works. Give me a second. You got a lot of questions. Click, 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 click. All right, so it should. Oh no. Hey. I think it actually worked. Impressive. I was kind of thinking that it might not. You just get used to things not working. And it did spit it out. And these seem to match. 5%? Is that what happened? No. What? Why don't these match those? Oh, wait. because these are going to be recast to the new range. So 30% will be multiplied by, well, you'll add 1 to it, so it'll be 130% divided by 2's, yeah, 65. That's correct. 105% divided by 2 is 52.5. Round, 53. That's correct. Okay, nice. It actually worked. I don't know if there's anything left, but I'll do it in the next one, I guess.